haven't recorded any video speaking about spiritual subjects in a while. Recently, I have finished writing and translating 2 books. One is about the unborn, the Zen teachings of Master Bankei, and the other one is the mud and water Zen teachings of Master Bassui, which they really resonate with my own experience, or should we say non-experience or direct experience. And I love these two Zen masters because they break away from traditions of the Zen masters of the past, which put a lot of emphasis on learning scriptures and zazen or sitting meditation, koans, which if you are familiar with is small phrases and words to confuse the logical thinking mind and breaking those patterns and bring you to your true self. But they do break with those traditions because the emphasis is not so much on quoting past teachers or masters and their scriptures, but is more about your own personal awakening without the need to rely on dead words of Master Bassui said, but that aliveness that comes from real experience, from that direct perception of the Buddha nature, of the true reality that we all are. And that's been my own experience when there was that seeking energy of the separate self, or the identification with this dream reality, and the seeking energy of looking for something. There was always that relying on what this guru says, or what this sacred book says, or what this particular set of beliefs that you have to align with them, or behaviors, patterns that becomes just one more obstacle to the true freedom that comes from that direct experience. When the awakening comes or happens suddenly, and the realization is there that all these physical and mental reality that emanates from the one indifferentiated energy or consciousness or conscious awareness is no a separate reality that operates by itself, but that there is the dreamer of this. There is the one that is behind all this apparent creation. And in that awakening, all these patterns just break away, and true freedom ensues, and the abiding as that consciousness. Advaita Vedanta call it abiding as Brahman. You are that, I am that. Tatvam asi, Abraham asi. I love these two gurus or masters of Zen, Master Bankei Bassui, because they confirm, if you need a confirmation of that awakening, and still, if you have reached that place that you still have a little doubt that it can happen in the beginning when someone awakens, they are really good sources of confirmation of that awakening. Also, I love them because not only do they align with my own experience, but also with the philosophy of Advaita Vedanta. And it is basically the same message, the same non-duality, the breaking of that identification as this physical appearance that is not going to last. And there is a beautiful sentence that Master Bassui uses, because I remember hearing this before when I was a seeker as well, in that time when before my awakening, there was a sentence that it says, and I believe it was Nisargadatta Maharaj who also said, to see who you were before this body was born. But Basui goes a step beyond, and he said to look at that original face that you have before your parents were born. And that will really make someone who is just a hair close to that final explosion to see their true nature as the one without beginning, without end, from which all of this physical and past, present, future false reality emanates. I will not call it, there is always called false of a dream reality or Maya, illusion, but I will defer a little bit on that, because someone will say, yeah, but why are you, and that's what I used to say too. Who is the one recording this on a computer that you bought, in a computer that you have connected to the internet, and you plug it in and you charge it and you turn it on, and now someone is watching this? So how can that be non-reality, or how can this be an illusion? But when the awakening comes, it's very hard to explain. You know, I was telling a friend of mine too, he asked me very important questions, but I always tell him that I don't want to feed him answers, because it will not sound like, I think it was Bankei who said this too. As soon as you open your mouth and talk about these concepts, it is two steps removed from the reality. So to try to explain this with words completely won't make sense to someone who hasn't awakened to their true nature. So, but I will only say this. This, it is not a complete false illusion. It is still used like, I will use something that is used in Advaita Vedanta, and one of my favorite masters, Atmananda, he used to say this: the only clear explanation you can give someone is, it is like the wave. It's a wave that is part of the ocean. But when the waves rises, if you start believing that it is separate from the ocean, it will last the separation for a certain amount of created time. But when it goes back into the wave, everything is water and it's part of the ocean. That's kind of the good sample that I like to say. I stopped, and actually that's one of the reasons I stopped. Besides that, something that I love to do in this dream life is my practice of my jiu-jitsu as meditation. But also I stopped making, I was making a lot of videos before, and I even took most of them down, or I stopped recording videos. I was making videos over 10 years ago, and I stopped making videos because this is something so hard to really, I think that's what a lot of masters feel sometimes, that just talking about this can be transmitted with words. This can be given to, I may give confirmation to someone who will come for confirmation, that they used to come to Bankei, but to try to teach this It can be.